Okay, guys, the holidays are here, and so are all the extra expectations and stressors that come with them. So, if your wife is overwhelmed, irritated, stressed with Christmas to dos, and it feels like you're walking on eggshells, it sucks, and it's honestly so common this time of year. I know that you would prefer a much less stressy energy. I'm Lindsay. This is Loving with Intention. Let's dive into 5 of the top Christmas stressors that couples face and the simple things that you can actually do to turn these into opportunities for connection instead of stress and tension. So, we're diving right into the first scenario that can cause just not good feelings, and that is planning spending time with your family over the holidays. Maybe you tend to see one family one year, the other family the next year. Maybe you tend to see one family every year and you'd rather see the other family this year. Maybe you tend to hit up both families in the same day, or there's pressure to see certain family members, or you dread seeing certain family members. Whatever this looks like in your life, the most important thing is that the conversation and decision making around this, it needs to happen together. You and your wife on the same team. And the very best approach to these conversations is to bring in love and curiosity. It can be super easy to just assume that things are going to be like they were last year, or you might tend to make plans and then tell your wife about it after they're made. Instead, it can really bring you two together if you bring in that curiosity and maybe you say something like, I've been thinking about family plans this year. I thought we could plan it together. And here's the key. Be willing to stay curious and also to co-create agreements together rather than getting into a butting of heads around things. So if she suggests that something, that you do something and it doesn't feel good to you, it's easy right away to be like, no, I don't want to do that. Of course, because we're just sharing our opinion and what we would rather do. And it can actually just shut down the conversation entirely, which shuts down connection entirely. So instead, if you sprinkle in some positivity around the idea and offer a curious alternative, like saying, yeah, that could work, and I wonder if this might work too, then it keeps the conversation going. And I know that it can feel impossible if you two want different things. And the truth is, when you commit to this spirit of curiosity and compassion for both of your wants and both of your wishes, which are so valid, then the whole conversation changes and possibilities just come out that you could not see before if you keep that curiosity. The key is to stay on the same team. And speaking of family, the second common holiday stressor is the family gatherings themselves, because let's be real, they can be a lot. You know that somebody's going to bring up politics and not everyone's going to be on the same page about that, or that there's going to be awkward conversations about who's gained weight or the drama in someone else's life, and tension just feels high. So before you walk into that situation, create a game plan with your wife. And this doesn't have to be like some big, serious, map it out game plan, huge conversation, but even a quick check-in with each other before you go, just know how long that both of you want to stay for. Get curious if there's any conversations that your wife doesn't want to be a part of or wants your support around, or like wants you to change the subject around. And maybe you even have a little code word or like a nudge nudge under the table. And that means that it's time to just like step out and take a breather so that you can just escape for a moment. Whatever it is, you are giving yourselves an exit strategy that doesn't involve like creating a big scene or anything like that, or doing like the kick under the table and you being like, what? And then now it just turns into something. So instead, you know what that little nudge or that little kick means. When you plan ahead like this, you are showing your wife, we're in this together. I know you. I see you. It makes sense that you get triggered by XYZ with your family, and I've got your back. And then when stress hits, it feels way more manageable because you are united in it. And of course, let her know what you would love support with too. And when we're talking about family drama, we want to bring in so much love and so much compassion. Being around extended family, it brings up all sorts of things from the past. Our childhood wounds and triggers, they show up in our romantic relationships, so you better believe that they show up when you are around your family of origin too. So bringing in so much love around all of this. And you can actually comment the word roadmap below, and I will share my free love journey roadmap with you. It's going to help you see what's under common reactions that we have when we are triggered, so that you can show up in healthier ways and support your wife in that too. And there's so much more in that guide. So we get to layer in another area of potential conflict around Christmas. The third common stressor is gifts. And here's a scenario that happens a lot. Your wife has been shopping for weeks, she's checking lists, she's wrapping gifts, and you walk in and see this giant pile and you say something like, "Whoa, this is way too much. How much did all of this cost? You go way too overboard. I thought we were cutting back this year." And suddenly she's furious. So here's what just happened. She didn't hear your very valid concern about the budget. She heard, "You messed up, you did too much, I don't appreciate your effort, you are thoughtless, you are careless." Which of course doesn't feel good. So it is completely fair if you need to talk about the budget, especially if she went over what was planned. That is no small thing. And the way that you approach it matters so much. So instead of leading with criticism, try something like, "I can see that you put so much effort into this. I appreciate how much you care about making everyone's day feel special with all of these gifts. Thank you for being the one who does all of this. I do want to make sure that we're on the same page about spending. Can we talk about what feels comfortable for both of us? I really do appreciate everything that you're doing." You are acknowledging her effort, her good intentions, you are seeing her heart, and you're inviting in a conversation, not just shooting her down. There is a huge difference, and not just for her, a difference for you feeling heard. If you lead with criticism, that budget conversation, it has left the building. You are now just in an argument about the appropriate number of gifts that someone should buy for Christmas, which is not the point at all. And if gift buying hasn't happened yet in your house, get on top of things with this budget conversation first. With so much love and so much curiosity, just sharing, "I appreciate how much effort and energy you put into buying gifts. What do you think makes sense to spend on gifts this year?" Get aligned early so that there's no surprises later. So already you are getting through the family planning, the gifts are done, but now comes another holiday classic moment that can cause tension, our fourth stressor, watching holiday movies. So this stressor can look a couple of different ways. One is that your wife wants to watch some holiday classics that you really have zero interest in. So she watches them alone and you're in your side of the house doing your own thing. It makes so much sense if it's not your thing or not a movie that you like, and it's not very connecting. She might feel alone, frustrated, and be wishing that she wasn't watching it alone, which can ripple into her being snippy, making passive-aggressive comments. It is not a good vibe. And of course, those things are unhealthy strategies that she would be using. So I wonder what it might feel like to lean in, to ask her first, like saying, "I know you love to watch the Santa Claus or Rudolph. Could we watch that together this week?" You are intentionally creating connection. Or maybe it's you who loves certain movies and she has no interest. A great approach would be, "I want to watch Elf this year. Could we do that one night this week?" It would feel really Christmassy and nice to watch it with you. Sharing what you would love really sets you up for success. And speaking of feeling Christmassy, I've had the fire on all morning and it's very cozy, but my face is just getting more and more red as we go along because I'm now sitting right beside it and it's cooking. Cozy, Christmassy vibes, all good. So when the movie time arrives, be really present when you're watching the movies. Fully engage, enjoy, watch together. Leave your phone in another room. You could even suggest that. Like, what if we left our phones in the kitchen so we can really enjoy this? Be in it. And speaking of presence, not the gift kind, but the being present, the fifth common holiday stressor that goes beyond paying attention to the movie. Oh my gosh, the reality is that the constant buzzing and checking of our phones takes us in and out of special moments so often, and it can feel really disappointing. Just imagine that your son, he's opening a gift from you and your wife, he's got this huge smile on his face, and your wife looks over to share this moment with you, and you're buried in your phone. Or someone cracks a joke when you're all sitting around together having snacks, and you're the only one who missed it because you were looking at your phone. Before these holiday gatherings, it can feel really good to set the intention together for phone-free time. Together, that is the key word. I know you might be thinking those scenarios that I just laid out, those are actually way more likely to be your wife buried in her phone. But if you approach her and say she needs to stay off her phone, that's not likely to land well. So instead, hey, I was thinking if we could have some phone-free time over the Christmas holidays, like a few hours where we're fully present with each other. I know how fast these moments come and go, and then we're back to the normal routine. So I really want to be in it and enjoy this year. Would you be into that? When you frame it like this, like we're doing it together for connection, it is not a rule. It's actually a gift that you're giving each other, the gift of presence. Because truly, those phone-free moments, that's where the real memories happen. The conversations, the laughs, the connection. Do not let your phone, bless our phones, we are addicted to our phones, but let's not let our phones steal that connection from us. So, to recap, I'm glad we're wrapping up. Literally, my face is just getting hotter. To recap, family planning, family gatherings, gift giving, movie time, phone free presents. These are 5 areas where you can literally turn stress into real connection this Christmas. And of course, these aren't just holiday tips. This is how you actually build the marriage that you want. When you lead with curiosity instead of criticism, when you approach your wife as a teammate instead of opponent, when you create space for presence and connection, that changes everything. And I know it would feel so good if she was the one doing these things. The good news is when you lead from this place, you change the entire dance. You are way more likely to see her soften in the way that she shows up to you too when you lean into this. It only takes one person to change the dynamic. So let me know your thoughts about these 5 things in the comments. Thank you so much for being here. I am sending so much love into your day. Check out the video on the screen where I share how one person can truly, it is science-backed, change a marriage. And remember, nothing changes if nothing changes. So let's have a super intentional week and holiday season. Bye.